Memory is a funny sort of thing. It is something that computers have, and people often have memory too. The word itself, a combination of the words meme, such as the popular dog on the internet named Meme, and Ori, which is another video game, I believe, though I have never played it. As you can imagine, I was extremely embarrassed when I'd heard Kirby had an entire land, which I'd forgotten, and of course, set out to unforget it as quickly as possible. The act of unforgetting can be a strenuous exercise, as typically, you can't even remember what it is you've forgotten, which makes it especially hard to remember what to unforget. There is an experiment conducted in Atlantis, where scientists attempt to physically put memories which lab mice had forgotten back into their brains. However, whether brain tissue was ingested by the mice or surgically shoved back into their noggins, the mice continued to not remember any of the things the scientists were telling them. And many of them died in the process. The mice, not the scientists. What's worse, the scientists couldn't even tell if the mice were understanding them at all. Likely not, as mice probably don't speak the same language as you or I. The results of the experiment were inconclusive. Unfortunately, the name of the study has slipped my mind as well. The visuals of Kirby and the Forgotten Land are one of the high points of the game. The game strikes a balance between Kirby's inherent whimsy and appealing graphics, which are so bright and colorful you could literally eat them, which made me hungry on several occasions. I give the visual style a 10 out of 10. As is often the case for Nintendo games, the story serves as a backdrop for the gameplay, and so only plays a small role in the quality of the game. From what we can infer from the bare-bones story, Kirby has teleported to some kind of forgotten land, one which has a lot of similarities to our own world, except it's been beset by some sort of cataclysm. Kirby has to go to this place and that to save his friends, the Waddle Dees. There was an evil blob thing which was corrupting King DDD, the popular Smash Bros. Character, and Big Lion Man as well. In the end, there is some sort of alien in a tank, Metroid style, which Kirby must defeat using his new abilities to partially consume a truck and fly into the evil bad guy by controlling the truck with his internal organs. I give the narrative a 6 out of 10. My thoughts about actual gameplay are divided in Kirby's Forgotten Land. On one hand, the game is another example of Nintendo's perfectionism. The controls are smooth and intuitive, animations are seamless and fun to watch. Levels are designed with plenty of fun bits and bobs to interact with. However, the game is a bit too easy when it gets down to it. The battles are too straightforward and the levels too simple. The game never seems to escape from Mario's shadow, feeling more like a kiddie pool version of the big grown-up Mario games. The game relies a lot on repetition of the big enemies, as well as expects the player to repeat levels multiple times in order to find all the secrets and save all the Waddle Dees. Though the levels are beautifully detailed and a treat to look at, the gameplay is just a bit slow and simple. The abilities are fun to use and collect, and I enjoy seeing how each ability progressed over the course of the game. Not only giving Kirby new powers, making him much stronger than before, but changing his overall appearance in fun and creative ways. I give the gameplay a 7 out of 10. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is a fun yet simple game to get into. It can be a bit tiresome due to the low stakes and low difficulty, but it is a delight to look at all the way to the end. The game is a solid Nintendo entry, which would be a great game for beginner players and fans of the cute aesthetic which permeates the game. Not a great game for those looking for a challenge. For the first 3D Kirby game, the series is off to a good start, but I'd personally like to see some harder challenges in the future. I give the game a 7.5 out of 10 and a pair of floaties.